central challenge I think faced by the industry by and large, the mining industry, is the way we manage tailings, mine tailings, in a way that presents zero risk to people and the environment. You probably only need to look back to the beginning of September this year to see the impact when those tailings storage facilities fail. It's devastating. It kills people, it damages livelihoods, it destroys the environment. So the obligation then becomes for the industry and the challenge that it's facing to actually manage those tailings with zero harm to people and the environment in such a way that it provides confidence that it can be a sustainable operation. Because when you look at the commodities that we're mining and the need for those commodities in electrical vehicles, copper, those sorts of things, what you'll find is that the mines have to, and they're huge to start with, but they have to get deeper, they have to mine more volume, they have to mine lower grades, which means more tailings. So the problem's not going to go away. Even though it's not new today, it's not going to go away in a rush. So it's something that both the industry-wide, all the way down to the local communities and the companies that operate in those communities has to face. So that complexity is just unbelievable, but it's real and they've got to make a change.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely on the ground, some of the challenges that are facing from the operational team in managing that, they've got their monitoring instruments, but how do they record that data and how do they, I guess, communicate that data in a meaningful way, in a holistic way that it's going out to the communities, but also within their business. Currently, what I'm finding is that there's lots of spreadsheets, it's lots of manual collection, and when you're trying to collate that into a single source of truth and being able to then adhere to these standards and these new kind of governance rules, how is that done? And how do you communicate that from the people on the ground level, like your tailings engineers, but then also communicating that all the way up to your senior stakeholders and then the wider community?
Yeah, which is certainly a big challenge that we're seeing with our clients, in that having the people on the ground doing the basis and the observations there, and then being able to report that data up through different silos across different systems to report confidently to the public what's going on within those facilities in a meaningful way that makes sense is quite difficult.
Part of the challenge in there is what we're seeing at the moment is a skills shortage. So for tailings engineers and skilled people in that tailings field to be available to actually improve the way tailings is managed is becoming really important. Now, overriding guidelines, like in August 2020, I think the ICMM produced the global industry standard on tailings management. So it's referred to as the GISTA more widely. Now, all of the members for the ICMM are party to that, but it's now gaining momentum and more broadly accepted across the industry, as it should be. Now that drives all manner of things, but in particular it drives skills and skills availability, as well as accountability for companies in their disclosures. And so when you put those two together, you actually start to mesh together the need to actually manage tailings all the way from on the ground, as you were talking about, with the sensors and the communications, all the way through to your shareholders and your stakeholders and what's in it for them to have confidence that they're not going to be subject to a failure.